Jesus, this couch is going to
couch
break
can
in
take it.
half.
The couch
I'm
can
gonna
take
set a
it.
timer.
My bad back can't take it, but the couch will.
Oh, Doug and I look the exact same again today.
Hey, what's different this time?
Damn it!
We fired Justin. Bum, bum, bum. Is that how we should start it?
No.
Okay.
Actually, let's start over.
No,
again. You want to
but-
jump onto the couch again?
Why? This is great. Let's just keep going. No. Keep it going. We have a new face amongst the crowd.
Oh.
It's Douglas Dixon.
Yes. Hello.
Say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name's Doug. Pleasure to be here with you.
Pleasure to be here. Justin couldn't make it today. He'll be in our next not podcast recap. What are we doing? May, right?
This-
May recap.
This is yeah.
It is
April,
May.
May.
Yeah, recapping May.
But it's coming out in June, so you guys are going to get to see this. And really the idea behind these videos is to talk about what we did during whatever month we're doing. So we did a video for April. That's out. We'll put a link up here. You guys can check it out. It's a good one to kind of get caught up on what's going on at the shop, type of things we're thinking, and really future hints and stuff. So I usually have the master list of topics to talk about, and then we'll just kind of veer off in whatever direction. We got about a half hour to do this. So let's focus the beginning on Doug. Newest team member to the Overtake team, obviously. We've known him for a long time. He was a coworker at a certain past company that both
Won't
Owen and
name
myself
him.
worked at.
Well, we won't name it.
We'll leave names out of this. But I don't know, Doug, I've known you for what, 6-7 years?
Yeah. So I think I started at past unnamed company.
Say GS, it's fine.
Okay. 2017. So I worked from 2017 through basically almost the end of 24, and now I'm here. But my roles there were vast. Started in assembly when I first started, and then went into warehousing, went into managing the warehouse, and then went from there into purchasing, and then ended being director of purchasing for all private brands. And then
So how do those vast roles compare to what you're doing here for Overtake?
I would say all of those things I priorly did, I'm also doing here.
But on a
So-
microscopic scale.
I mean, yeah, we're smaller. So, I mean, warehouse is smaller. Our inventory system is less part numbers, less stuff going on, smaller builds. So doing everything from assembly to accounting, accounts payable, receivable, purchasing, inventory, warehousing, shipping, receiving.
Thing, you're a Swiss Army knife. And it's
Yeah.
important to mention that the small nature of those things, this is the baseline, so it can only grow from here. So if you're putting together 50 products a day, that's going to turn into 70, into 100, into hundreds, and
Yeah.
then eventually scale up for everything.
Yeah, it's all just scales. So it's been really nice being able to kind of start fresh and put in all place of all these different things that we wish we did at the old company that we can just start the right way this time. Part numbering systems, organization, inventory, locations, that stuff makes a huge difference. When you're small, it's easy to start that incrementally grow instead of being, employees, having 25, 30 employees and producing for that company and then all of a sudden wanting to revamp everything. Good luck. It's already,
Yeah.
it's too far gone.
It's a really daunting task. When you have 20 items or 20 products you're starting with, it's easy to go back and like make little changes. But when you're 15 years in and you have 400 plus products, it's a daunting task because it's certainly possible to go back and change something, but it's going to take somebody weeks to do that, and they're not going to get anything else done.
Yeah, we didn't have the time, and there were so many different hands in the old system
Yeah.
and different methodologies of part numbering and doing BOMs, bill of materials, and all those things that even if you tried making a new system better, you couldn't go back and change the old part numbers because there's data associated to those, either your consumption levels on piece parts or your sales of finished goods. You change that part number, now you lost the data.
There's a ton of nuance to this, and I know Justin is super passionate about this as well. So what comes to mind, and you guys tell us in the comments if you want to see this, is maybe the two of you sit down the same way I sat down with Justin and did a Q&A video. You just talk about like the inner workings of a manufacturing company like this, because there's so much below the surface stuff that you guys don't get to see on our social media. Like we're not going to hype up inventory levels or how to create a part number or any of that stuff.
Or spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets, like it's not that exciting, but it could be its own standalone video for people who find that interesting. So let's put a pin in that, and I think we could.
Yeah, Justin and I are both, him and I are both laser focused on that stuff. Like right now starting, the data is everything.
Yeah.
It's huge, and it'll only, like I said, scale up from here and grow, and so we're getting the foundation right. It's been awesome so far. So the more exciting stuff, though, you've been a Subaru guy for as long as I've known you.
Yeah, my first Subaru was actually a 2011 Subaru STI sedan in plasma blue pearl.
It was more rust than plasma blue.
No,
Yeah.
no, mine had no rust.
What are you talking about? It's so much rust.
That was
that the one?
obvious.
Oh, I thought you sold it to him.
No, that wasn't mine.
Okay.
He also had a plasma blue pearl,
Yeah,
but his was rusty.
I bet yours has rust on it now.
I don't think it exists anymore. I sold it.
Oh, it's the one that had a bunch of salvage titles.
Well, it was salvaged when I bought it. It was pretty clean though. But then, yeah, I got into an accident, and then I sold it to a guy who has a shop down in like southern Minnesota, and he ended up repairing it, straightened the frame, all that. Different guy bought it. He ended up messaging me sometime later and messaged me. He was like, "Hey, does this sound bad?" And it was knocking really badly. But I haven't seen it since. So that was my first one. I've had a couple, actually, 2 other Subarus that I bought from you.
Yeah.
And then one that I bought from your neighbor.
I keep selling Doug my crappiest Subarus just to get rid of them.
So after I got that, wrecked that, I bought the 04 Forester XT, which is what I drive now. It was in an accident also at one point. Winter of like 2019 maybe, lady pulled out in front of me on Broadway, T-boned her right in the B pillar.
Do I recall 2 accidents with that car, not just
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a week before, I was on 94 just sitting in traffic, and then a lady, uninsured lady, hit the car behind me, and then that car hit me. That one wasn't very bad. It just cracked the paint on the rear bumper. But then a week later, yeah, I T-boned someone because they pulled out in front of me on a green, but they have to yield situation scenario.
Yeah. So this is the hilarious thing about Subarus is, I mean, that's a triple accident car in a time you've owned it, let alone
Double.
I didn't wreck it when I had it, but the guy before me probably did. And these things just keep going. People fix them. They don't throw these away.
Yeah, and then the other one that I bought from your neighbor was that I think it was a 96 or 97 Outback Sport.
Yes.
And that I sold back to you. And then you took it to a dealership and used it as trade-in. You got like $2,000 for it, and they couldn't even sell it. They had to throw it away. They said this isn't roadworthy.
Yeah, exactly. The frame was rusted through, but they had some promotion that you bring any car in and they'll pay you $2,000 for a car that you purchased from them, which was my truck, my Tacoma.
Yeah.
And so they took this like rust bucket of an Impreza wagon and just threw it out and gave me $2,000 for it. So.
And then the other one was the Legacy that I also have now, which you're thinking of purchasing back. So.
Yes. And this is kind of a side topic, and Owen,
Yeah.
you can talk a little bit more about this. We've been considering doing like an ice race vehicle. We're in Minnesota after all, like the ice capital of the United States. And so we have this opportunity to be able to get a cheapo car and go race around some lakes. I know Justin's been talking to you about that.
Yep. Justin's getting pretty serious about getting I don't want to say exactly what, because we don't know exactly what, but probably a GC or GD to go racing in.
Because they're on the cheaper side and they're
Yeah.
cool. GCs are super lightweight,
Yep.
and that's awesome and
They're
fun.
lightweight, they're really fun, easy to drive, easy to throw around, and not really care about if you smash it into a snowbank.
He hates on the wagon. He thinks it's too big.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we might get to a point where I buy his old wagon for a little ice race thing. We get hopefully a GC Impreza, and then we do some like tandem ice racing. So you guys have that to look forward to. It'd be a fun little series for us to film and just an excuse to mess around in the shop with the shop vehicles.
Yep.
Speaking of cars, you want to tell people what you got, and we'll just go around the circle?
Yeah, I guess we're going over vehicle history. I'm currently on my 4th Subaru.
Those are rookie numbers. You have to pump those
I
numbers up.
know, right? Well, Doug's on 4 as well.
Well, I've also had a 2017
That's
Impreza.
right, you're the Impreza, so you're on 5.
Yeah,
You
yeah. We had that for 6 months and then got rid of it because we didn't drive it enough because we were both working from home at the time. So
Yeah.
sold it back. But
Yeah. So I had a Bug-Eye RS. That was my first Subaru. I only had that thing for about 6 months until it rod knocked, and that was before I really knew about fixing cars or anything like that. So I sold it for $800, and then the guy that bought it from me flipped it and made a fortune off of it. So that good for him. Then I had a 2012 Forester NA. Again, not really an enthusiast car, but got me around. Then my first like enthusiast Subaru, I had an 04 Forester XT that I owned essentially the whole time that I worked for the previous company. And that one, It was basically a whole catalog car, had all the parts on it. I did it completely wrong. No tune, nothing on it, still stock turbo.
And if I recall,
It's
the guy
amazing that that
you
thing
sold
still
it
runs.
to-
And then, yeah, the guy that I sold it to, I saw pictures on Facebook 2 weeks later that the engine was out. Crazy.
Yep.
So sorry if you're watching this.
No, there's litigation coming your way now because he's
Yeah,
going to use that as
I just
evidence in
admitted
court.
fault. And then currently I have a 1996 Subaru Impreza Coupe 2.2, and it is rear-wheel drive.
You guys saw it in the kidnapping video.
Yes,
for Doug.
Doug's introduction
Yeah.
video, that green one, that was my car.
Yeah, I thought it was blue, but okay.
It's green, blue, it's Asian blue, so yeah, it is blue.
Oh, nice.
Is the color code.
Yeah. How much time do we have left? Not enough time to go over all of my Subarus or cars. So
You could
maybe
rapid
we'll save
fire.
that.
1939.
Okay,
It's a good year.
just blast them off.
I can't even remember. I know my first one was a 2.5 RS in college. This was in 2010. And then a bug-eye sedan, which always smelled like waffles. And I didn't realize why, or syrup.
No, that sounds
syrup and
great.
waffles. I couldn't figure out why. It was burning coolant the whole time I owned it.
Oh, okay.
Because I kept having to top it off. Then I bought my Forester, which I still have. I'm going on like 14 years of owning that white
This is the
SG.
least rapid
Wait,
fire
no,
I've ever
That's
heard.
pretty rapid
That's
fire.
the Forester I have now.
No. The original Forester that I bought in college that I've had for 14 years is still the same one. I sold you the crappy one. I kept the good
Oh,
one.
you kept it all the drivetrain and suspension.
Yeah.
And I got.
That's for a different day. And I was thinking that we could bring our cars in and do little videos on YouTube, kind of like a long form, just going over what's in them, what we want to do with them, those sort of things. And that would be a good time to talk about that. But really, I'm most known for my Forester, so I've had a handful of Subarus here and there, a bunch of them.
I think you've had 4, maybe 5 Forester XTs since I've known you.
Yeah. And I got plans for more. I've got a whole thing. We'll talk about that in a future video. But kind of getting back on track to Overtake stuff, magnets, that's one thing that was your idea.
Yes,
And
I
wanted to
was the
highlight that.
secret person in the last video.
We were
It was
just
my idea.
arguing about who came up with that idea, and somebody just posted a video of them taking a magnet out of a box and being so excited about it. And that was
Atlas
Atlas. Yeah, okay.
out in South Dakota.
Dakota.
Yeah.
And they nailed it by saying, oh, it's a Rock Auto Overtake magnet. And that's the idea is we've gotten the Rock Auto magnets for years and years, and you're always disappointed. It's like 1 in 10 orders, you get something cool,
There is a red FXT Rock Auto magnet.
allegedly.
No,
I've seen it on eBay.
yes.
Oh.
It's red. It's the coolest one there is for sure.
Yeah.
But all of ours are cool.
They are all cool, and they are the same sizing, so you can fit them in, but my guess is you're going to start throwing the Rock Auto ones away because
Good.
nobody wants like a 63 Bel Air or
Or El
something.
Camino
Yeah,
or-
not when you're a tuner.
2012 Ford Fusion. I have a couple of those, and they suck.
Dope. But you can thank Doug for those magnets, and we've got more coming. You were designing some for dealers?
Yeah, I think the next round of magnets we're going to do is going to be involving dealer cars. So some of the retailers that we work with, a lot of them have shop cars and whatnot that
Yeah.
we want to show off. So
They have some really cool cars because they use their parts and whoever they work with, like Overtake, on their cars. So yeah, it's a good idea. One thing on the list is Q&A. Justin and myself did a Q&A video, which I can throw a link for up here. You guys can check it out. It got really solid views, so obviously people were interested. List your questions in the comments for this video. That way I can gather them up, and we'll do another Q&A maybe next week, and then we'll put it out shortly thereafter. But those are always a fun one to get you guys engaged and just see what you're talking about and what you're thinking. Open house, that happened last month. So
yeah, that was, I guess, as of now, it was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And we were a little worried because a couple days before the weather kind of changed, and all of a sudden it was going to be like overcast and possibly rainy, and we're like, well, that sucks. Nobody's going to show up. And
50s. Also.
yeah, mid 50s. It was cold.
We're in a part of the country where it's like a constant joke. We have spring 1 and spring 2 and then like summer 1, and it just fluctuates all over the place. And I think the weekend before was like in the 80s.
Yeah, it was
and then all of a
insane.
sudden dipped down to the 50s and rainy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was beyond our expectations. There was probably 400 plus people here.
Yeah, throughout the day.
There was cars wrapped around the block.
The number of people that came in with Overtake banners and plate frames. Because you got to think, this is our first event. We've only been around for 2.5 months at that point. And so the local scene is just building. But the amount of people that came through with Overtake stuff was like really surprising for me.
It's awesome, and there was even more because We normally, for like our local shows and whatnot, will be available to like sell product or sell merch, but it's not something in the past that has really been a big thing. But Doug and I were basically standing at the table the entire time, and we just about cleared our shelves of T-shirts and hoodies.
Yeah.
Because everybody just wanted to support us that much, and
Or they were cold because it was
I
cold
was going
outside.
to say,
That too, yeah.
the weather worked to
They came
our
unprepared.
advantage. Which then we were talking about, we'll get into Wicked Big Meat and the rest of the event season, and we were talking about packing apparel. And we're not going to pack hoodies because it's always like 85 degrees and sunny at these events.
you say that, but now it's going to be like 45 in Connecticut. for
Yeah,
like
it
a
might
day.
be. The worst is we usually get a torrential rainstorm every couple of events.
That's usually
seasons.
Boxer Fest.
Boxer
that
Fest,
like
yeah.
floods.
But anyway, this gave us an opportunity to sell things like hoodies and then, T-shirts. We got hats coming.
Yep.
That's a little hint.
We'll have hats for Wicked Big Meat,
Should be.
hopefully.
Yep,
I guess we
should
can't
be.
promise that.
So let's talk Wicked. Again, open house went well. Thank you guys, locals, for coming by, supporting, buying stuff from us. That was awesome. Wicked Big Meat's going to be our first jump off into the national event scene. Obviously, we've all done Subi events in years past, so we know exactly what they're all about. They're great events. They're really tiring. It's like a 15-hour workday for the people that have to be on the other side of the merch table. But they're awesome for getting really everywhere in the nation, kind of doing a circle and meeting face-to-face with you guys. We see you on social media all day long, but then to be able to actually shake hands and you guys can purchase product from us. But yeah, Wicked, that's June 8th.
Yeah, in just over a week.
Yeah, we sent
Next
a pallet
Sunday.
out. We'll
Yep.
talk about the pallet because that was a big hit on our social as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was. I mean, we had the crate, and then we were just gonna do just stencils, just bare wood, and then do white and blue on it, just saying overtake, and then the do not block, so we'll make sure when it gets delivered that we don't get blocked into the access, the one panel that's the access, because all the other ones are all screwed together. So we were thinking about doing that, and then I believe you brought up like let's do something with it, something cooler.
Make it part of the display, make it stand out.
The idea was kind of wrapped up in the whole ethos of the company right now. We are having to do things as efficiently as we can, and we're, in this case, literally thinking outside of the box for things. Like, we only have X amount of staff, we only have a low budget for things like events, so in the past we would send multiple pallets and display product and all this extra stuff, but we can't really do that. We can only send one pallet, and we have to jam it with as much stuff as we can, which means like advertising, product, any sort of display stuff has to fit in one box.
Not to mention our tent,
Yeah, all
all
of
of our
that.
flags.
The
everything.
necessities.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll expand into a second pallet because we're just going to have so much product that we sell at the shows. But to start this season off, we started thinking, well, how can we make an impact with the stuff that we're bringing? And the no-brainer was, well, we have this giant wooden box that we bring, and then we just kind of have to hide behind the tent. What if we bring it out front and center, and we have the Overtake logo, which you designed and is awesome? A lot of great feedback on that one.
Yeah, apparently this has to be on a windshield banner or a shirt or
It's already
everything
windshield-
we make from now on.
It's banner shape, so yeah. But yeah, awesome logo. It's kind of a dual purpose thing because then we can identify the pallet. We've got the do not block thing, which happens during shipping, and that's a challenge. And then the other thing that you guys didn't really see or potentially pick up on the video of the crate is that it's got a provision for a small basketball hoop on the outside. And
What?
I didn't know we were teasing this in this video.
we're teasing it. Remember, this isn't going to be out for another week or so, so we're good because you guys are going to get to see it at Wicked Big Meat, especially the people that are there. We'll do some social media posts about it. It's got a little hoop, and that means we can play games with it, essentially,
Yeah.
whether it's for free merch or just to mess around, or maybe
Yeah.
with beers after the event, and we get the Subi Events guys together and play a full court.
That's how we convince them that it's okay for us to have a basketball hoop at our booth.
Yes, exactly. So we'll see how it turns out. We might just get yelled at by Con and Brick and those guys, but
Well, if Con yells at us, we'll just pick him up and stick him in the hoop. So
in the crate.
yeah.
Also,
And we had some crazy ideas for what to do with the inside of the crate.
there is an Easter egg in there.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we'll show you guys at Wicked. But yeah, that event, they saved the best for first in this case.
Yep.
It's huge. If you guys haven't been out there and you're able to drive out, please do. The Subi events are all awesome, but Wicked is the biggest, easily.
It's something like, is it around 10,000
Yeah.
Oh, there's
participants,
More
right?
than that. Last year, I think it was like 15,000 people there.
Yeah, I think it's like in the 10,000 cars because
Oh, okay.
when
Yeah.
you see overhead view, they do like drone footage of it. It's enormous.
Yeah.
It's
in this tiny little town of Stafford Springs, Connecticut.
yeah.
We just inundate that place.
It's an adventure
Every
because to
year.
get in there, it's like two roads, but really one main road. And I mean, you're stuck for hours at one point if you don't get in early enough. So we'll be doing that. Lots of exciting stuff to come. YouTube. So our YouTube's been growing suspiciously well. This video is going to be going on our YouTube as a full length. We've been trying to kind of balance the short form stuff with some of the longer form. If any of you guys do media for a profession, you know it's tough to do long form footage. It's just laborious, right? You have to come up with a topic, you have to record and edit and put it out there. We're trying to do a video per week, and we've been doing pretty well at that, and trying to vary up the content a little bit. So a lot of stuff coming. Anything you guys are particularly excited about? Any ideas for videos? Anything you want to see?
I mean, I want to see more of the Forester, the JDM one you have.
That one's coming. I'm
because
editing right now.
How filthy you've described it to us, it just
Yeah.
doesn't even seem possible.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Just a little bit of insight. I haven't seen that Forester since the day you brought it by to show it off.
It's been in
so have
most
you
of
been
the pieces.
cleaning it the whole time? Or?
Not the whole time. But yes, I put in work to it. I tore out the interior about a week and a half ago, and I didn't know dust could get so fine. It is just in every crevice of everything. And so I'm meticulously cleaning it. I'm filming it. That's what's taking a long time as well. But I've got tons of footage that I'm editing. So you guys will get to see a Forester video probably next week. So a little bit update on that. We've got a boost control install video coming, which a little less exciting, but we got to do install videos as well. We just posted the BRZ 86 cabin filter video.
Yep.
So you guys can check it out. Again, not terribly exciting, but things that people need and a good way to introduce our product to everyone. I've got my Japan trip video number 2 and product releases. That's the other big one that's coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anything you care to mention?
What is our next product release? Is it the? It's kind of Doug's thing.
That one or the one that goes on
This one? What is?
the horn?
Oh yeah, that's probably the next thing. We have a Hella Horn kit for the 22 Plus WRX. Those will be wrapped up here in the next couple of weeks. We were hoping to have them for Wicked, but I think we're gonna miss that by about a week, which is okay.
Yeah.
We'll live.
It'll be a really nice
Yes.
like combo kit. It's gonna be 2 parts.
Yep.
One part, I don't know how descriptive we want to get here, but one part is completely different than what everyone else is doing, and then the other part is also different, but is not as like, wow, they took the extra step to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this in past media, but one of the advantages to being the latecomer to the game is you get to see what everyone else has, and then you get to improve it by like 5%.
Yeah, you get to see all the market feedback on the other products and say, oh yeah, that's a pretty easy fix. Or,
And so we've identified a lot of those things. You guys will see that in the upcoming products. We've got a long list. There's tons of 3D printed stuff that we were hoping to show off in this video, but a lot of it's on the palette too.
yeah, a lot of it's on the way to Connecticut right now. So
So in the next video recap of these, we can show like the 3D print versus maybe we'll have the production ready design on some of this stuff.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
certainly.
yeah.
Yeah, for a good several things, we'll be able to do that.
Yep.
cool.
Decals and merch. So we introduced the beer stickers last time. Those are particularly cool. And then we've got a new run of stickers. I know you just want to hint at it. We don't want to show
Yeah,
them off.
we
quite
do
yet.
have a new run of stickers. They're all pretty unique designs that we're going to be debuting. Actually, this is just the Wicked Big Meat teaser episode. We're going to be
Yeah, maybe it just should be.
we're going to be releasing these stickers at Wicked Big Meat. So if you want to see them first, get them for yourself. Come say hi. I think we'll be releasing them on the website basically as soon as we get whatever stock is left from Wicked Big Meat will be available on the website once that all gets back here. So
And this is when things start getting a little tricky. We were talking about inventory and we're talking about events. Well, Wicked Big Meat's the first of, there's 6 Subi events. We're doing 4 of them and then sponsoring the other 2. But that means we're going to be flying back and forth and our inventory is going to be traveling with us. And so that's a careful game we have to play. I guess that's on you, Doug.
Yeah, so I mean, we chose what one we think will sell at shows well, what will fit in the crate as well. We're limited to that more than anything. So the smaller the item, usually the better it is, just because it saves us on space and freight. But also we have to play a careful game of having enough at the show and leaving enough here on the shelves, so in case we have a dealer place a big order, or we have an influx of a customer buying like a battery tie down because all of a sudden YouTube starts promoting that video or something, we want to make sure we have enough stock here. And luckily with our ERP system and with our with Shopify for the website, it makes it all crazy seamless, and we can move our inventory from OVERTAKE shop to show inventory, and then that show inventory isn't available on Shopify, so we can't oversell anything either.
Yeah. So creating the systems from the ground level.
Yeah, and starting with the right programs right off the bat has been probably the nicest thing internally, operations-wise, than anything.
And just having all these programs that are like so flawlessly integrated together that it works. There have been so many times where it's like, ooh, I wonder if we can do this. We're gonna have to get in touch with the developers and see if they can add it in, and then we just try it and it just works already, and it's like, oh, okay.
4.5 minutes.
Nice. Okay. So one thing you mentioned when you were just talking is dealer inventory and orders, and maybe that's something to talk about is the dealer network, how we're dealing with it, pun intended. What are ideas for growth? I mean, in the past, GS, we had tons of dealers. I won't put a number on it, but it almost seemed unmanageable because you want to have these kind of one-to-one relationships. Here, we have a low level of dealers just naturally, but what are we like going for? That might be a good insight for people.
Dealer stuff and communications is more Owen's role.
Yep, so most of the dealer, like when a dealer wants to place an order or even just a shop wants to become an authorized dealer through us, they reach out to me and I'm usually the one heading off that communication. But I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to do is we're trying to have that communication with somebody here. I mean, there's wholesalers that are great. I'm sure many of you are familiar with like a Turn 14 or something like that. And that's awesome, but it just becomes less personal as a brand, and we're trying to keep that attachment. And like I said, we're trying to do magnets with some of our dealers. We're just trying to keep the communication there and everything, and keep it all within our control as much as we can for now. And I think it's very manageable. The levels of sales that we're seeing right now is absolutely possible to keep doing that for the next few years at least before we have to go distribute through a wholesale distributor or something like that. Right now, I think we have about 50, I think it was 48 as of this morning, authorized dealers that we have set up and can purchase and sell our product. And that ranges from somebody with a website who sells product to even just like a random shop in the middle of Texas that just does installs, and they maybe don't have a bunch of product on the shelves, but they want to be able to purchase our product to install on their customers' cars because they believe in the brand that much. So
this is a good topic to linger on a little bit because we've lived in this world for a long time and we kind of get the hierarchy and the system and how it works, but I bet most people don't really think about this very often. So let's just break it down a bit. We are a manufacturer, right? Like we make the stuff, here it is, it's OVERTAKE product. We're also a retailer, so we sell the stuff. We don't sell anyone else's product. That's not to say that we never will have something on the website that's not OVERTAKE, but 99.9%, if not 100, is going to be OVERTAKE stuff on our own site. So you guys can, what we would call buy direct from us, right? You could go on overtakeusa.com, you could pick up apparel or pitch top mount or whatever.
anything from our catalog.
Yeah, anything from our catalog, and we ship it out directly to you. Then the next level would be like a dealer network or an individual dealer. So maybe describe if you're a JM Auto, our local tuner.
Yep, so essentially they just get a discount on our products for either buying just bulk quantities or whatever, or we know that they're going to be ordering consistently, so we give them a discount. And then, I mean, JM's kind of a unique example because we can like same day stuff. They're 10 miles away from us, but companies around the country, if they have a website and they're out of stock on an OVERTAKE product or there's a new OVERTAKE product or something like that, they just email us, place an order, and we usually ship stuff out same day to get it on their shelves so they can have it on their site. And everybody kind of has their own loyal customers, and we want to respect that and build a relationship and the networking here in the industry.
And the real positive thing there is if you have a trusted tuner that you go to, whether it's a JM or somebody nationally, you develop that relationship, and then you can purchase the product you trust from them. So they're getting kind of a cut of the profits. We're getting some of it. Then there's like a wholesale network. So Doug, you're experiencing that.
I mean, as far as like turn 14.
Yeah, which Owen mentioned we don't do right now.
No, I mean, with turn 14, I mean, one, things are becoming a little bit more difficult with government restrictions and sometimes some people don't want to carry all the product. But anyway.
Who is a turn 14 first?
Yeah, what do they do?
I mean, turn 14 is a B2B only, so business to business. Turn 14 would buy from us, and then they would then sell to a JM Auto or a Subi Mods or Import Image or Atlas Tuning. So if you sign up and get approved to purchase from turn 14.
Wrap it up, Doug, wrap it up.
Then turn 4, you can buy products from turn 14, they ship it directly to you. So essentially there's a middleman between us and the smaller places.
Rather than us packing up, say we get 20 dealer orders in a week, rather than us having to pack those up and ship them all out individually, we would just pack up one big pallet of everything, send it off to turn 14, and it's just one shipment. It's easier for us.
There's the ease of it, and the downside is you make less on the product.
You make less money, and it's less personable. We don't have the relationships with all the dealers like we do now with this setup.
So that gives you at least a little bit of a look into the system. If you guys are really interested, put in the comments any questions you have about it. We'll answer it either in the Q&A video or the one we're going to do. The last thing I want to leave off on is a small but fun product. It's valve stem caps.
Oh, yeah.
Are we grabbing one?
I think we should grab them. I think you should tease it, and then you shut that video off, and people can wait until it's up on the website. All right, that's a wrap.
Sweet.